Yellowstone National Park is famous for its bubbling hot springs and steaming geysers. This hydrothermal wonderland is powered by a vast cauldron of partially molten rock deep underground. It holds enough boiling magma to build several Mount Everests. The Yellowstone volcano last erupted 70,000 years ago. If it were to erupt again, vast areas could be buried under lava. Most scientists think this is unlikely, at least for the next few thousand years. But there is another serious danger lurking, one that is more sudden and dangerous than lava. Yellowstone is riddled with craters left by these eruptions. There have probably been thousands of them over the past 14,000 years. That includes one particularly terrifying eruption on July 23. It hurled rocks and sent tourists fleeing. In the last century, there have only been small ones, says Paul Bedrosian, a geophysicist at the U.S. Geological Survey in Lakewood, Colorado. However, we do know that Yellowstone is capable of producing big explosions. To learn what triggers them, researchers have been exploring the depths of Yellowstone Lake on the eastern side of the park. Hundreds of hot vents dot the lake's floor. The lake bed is also home to some of the world's largest hydrothermal vents. And from the lake's floor rise hard, brittle domes that could one day explode. Hydrothermal eruptions are extremely dangerous, says Lisa Morgan, a volcanologist at the USGS in Denver, Colorado. She has been studying Yellowstone's largest eruption for 25 years. It's possible that it could happen today. Scientists have been studying Yellowstone's hot springs and geysers since the late 1800s. But it wasn't until 1966 that they realized the site had experienced a major steam explosion. That summer, Patrick Muffler made his first visit to Pocket Basin. It's near Yellowstone's western edge. He was a young scientist at the USGS. He was traveling with his boss, Donald White, a USGS scientist who studies hot springs and geysers. Pocket Basin is a large, bowl-shaped meadow. A rocky ridge surrounds it on three sides. Hydrothermal pools and springs are scattered throughout the meadow. They scent the air with the sour smell of hydrochloric acid. The acid continually seeps out of the hot water bubbling up from below. As the two scientists explored the area, White noticed something he had seen before. Back in 1951, he visited Lake City, California, to see something strange. A group of once peaceful hot springs in a swampy meadow had exploded. The blast had thrown 300,000 tons of mud and rock into nearby fields. The rocks were made of gravel and sand. They had been cemented together with whitish zeolite and opal minerals. White knew that these materials formed when hot water filled with dissolved minerals neared the surface. As the rising water cooled, the dissolved minerals crystallized into solids, forming these rocks. The groundwater had suddenly turned to steam, White concluded. Its instantaneous expansion had thrown the rocks up. As White and Muffler walked up the ridge surrounding Pocket Basin, their boots crunched from the same thing. White realized was a crater left by a hydrothermal explosion. The crater stretched across an area the size of 10 football fields. And the surrounding ridge, the crater was made of rocks blasted out by the explosion.